Yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of I Love Myself. I'm Charlie Newhart. Like and subscribe if you want to. If not, whatever. This is Story Time with Charlie. Another episode. All right. I bought my first house when I was 22. It was $110,000. It was in Detroit. It was by the old McKenzie. It was off Oakman. In the cross streets was like Joy Road in Wyoming, was behind the Dairy Queen over there. If you're from that hood, you already know what time it is on the west side. So I was born and raised in Romulus, but I never felt like I could fit in. I was itching to just get out of this small town. So, I'm a square. I never confessed or professed to be no gangster, but I was always willing to do whatever I had to do to get money. And that included several unfavorable activities in the eyes of some people. So I didn't really have like W-2s around that time, like not enough to buy a house for $110,000. And this was like, what, 98, 99? So, this is 20 plus years ago. So I didn't really have W-2s, but I wanted this house. I was making the money to get the house, but I didn't have the proof that I was making the money. So I wanted this house so bad, so I had somebody make me up some W-2s so I could get this house, right? And at this time, what did I have? I had a couple cars, man. I was just staying at home with my people, but I was, doing stuff I ain't had no business doing. So we make up the W-2s, we get the house. I get the house in Detroit, and I had right after I got the house, I got married. And I'm telling you, when you get stuff and you like doing dirt to get it, you never keep it. That's why I don't like when people glorify certain lifestyles, because for me, everything I bought while I was hustling, I lost it all. So I get this house in Detroit, beautiful brick house, 3-bedroom, full basement, just beautiful house, man. We furnish it immediately. And then I probably 6 months. It was like 6 to 8 months after I got the house, I ended up getting a job at Ford, so that I, had the proof finally after I got the house. But so I'm in the house, and everything you can think of could happen. No, let me tell you about how it went down for me to get the house. So I got these fake W-2s to get the house, and we trying to close on the house, and the seller, was doing a for sale by owner. And he was working with this mortgage company off Schaefer. So I guess the mortgage company was dragging their feet with putting the deal together. We was trying to get a closing date, and the seller of the house called me one day. He said, "Look, I'm tired of this. We should be closing on your deal. I think the mortgage company that I'm dealing with is on some garbage. Let's go up there. Come get me," because his foot was broke or something. He was in like a cast. So I called him, and he was cool with all of, the fake W-2s and everything. So he called me. I went over and picked him up, and he said, "Yeah, take me to Harvey." That was the dude's name who owned the finance company back then, mortgage company or whatever it was. So we drive up to Harvey's office, and the dude that was selling the house, his name was Mark. Mark gets out, he's got this cast on his foot, and he talking shit the whole way. Like, "We gonna go see Harvey. We gonna go up there, and we gonna get this deal closed. I want to get you in this house, Charlie. I'm ready to move. I want to get you in this house, man, blah, blah, blah." So I walk into the office with him, and as soon as we walk in, he's on 10. And he's bossing up on the receptionist. "Hey, how you doing? Listen, I'm Mark. I'm selling the house over on such and such. This is Charlie. He's the buyer. I'm really tired of the games that this mortgage company is playing. Where's Harvey?" And she's like, 20-year-old girl. She all scared because he's yelling at her. She's like, "Well, Harvey's not here." "He ain't never here. He ain't never here. I'm tired of this. I want to sell this house to Charlie. Charlie's upset, and he wants it." I'm like, "Oh, this nigga's including me, nigga. I didn't know that I was about to be involved in this." And the nigga just blows his top. "You know what I'm about to do? I'm taking this fax machine." And he goes over to the wall and snatches the plugs out the wall and grabs the fax machine. "You tell Harvey he'll get his fax machine back when he closes this deal on Charlie's house." Like, oh, this nigga's including me in this deal. So I'm walking out with him like, "My man, what are you doing, bro? Why didn't you tell me that?" He was like, "Yeah, you're right. Let me go take this fax machine back." So we turn around halfway down the hallway, and he throws the fax machine down like, I'm going to leave this here. But you let Harvey know that I was here and I want to close on this house. Charlie's ready to buy. We walk out the office. Long hallway. We go down the elevator. We walk into the parking lot. Guess who drives up? On 10. Harvey. This nigga jumps out with some Crocs on and a t-shirt and pajama pants. You could tell this nigga was in the bed. She must have hit him up and said my man was turning up. This nigga gets out the car. Mind you, Mark, the dude who's selling the car, this nigga is in a cast on his foot. Mark gets out the car. He a big nigga. He gets out the car like, you coming to my office, threatening my people? You know what I'm saying? Snatching my fax machine out the wall. Mark was like, that's right. I thought he was going to back down. That's right. I'm trying to close this deal. Charlie ready to buy. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, and we ready to get it done. And Mark's talking all tough. Harvey just walks up to him and puts his hands around his neck. He's just choking this nigga. And he's moving him around like a rag doll. It's the funniest thing to see. And I let it slide. Like, this is right, nigga. You deserve to get thrown around like this. You know what I'm saying? You bring me up into this office. You don't tell me what you gonna do. I'm gonna let Harvey work for a little while. He just, nigga, nigga. And my man, his glasses fly off. He's looking dumber and dumber every 2 seconds. Like, nigga, come to my office. And I'm like, yes, get him. But then after like 30 seconds of it, this nigga Mark looks like he's dying. He's So I try, okay, I don't want this nigga to die because I do want to buy the house. You know what I'm saying? So I go over to Harvey and I'm like, hey, bro, let him go. You know what I'm saying? He like, no, fuck this nigga. So I'm trying to grab his arms to pull his arms off of Harvey. This nigga got the pit bull grip on his neck. So what I didn't see was Harvey had a passenger in the car. It was a dude. So when I grab Harvey's arms to pull him off, this nigga jumps out the passenger seat. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to shoot this nigga. He gets out the car and he run over to me. And Harvey was like, get this nigga Charlie off me. And I'm like, nigga, don't grab me. We got to make this deal happen. And I look over at Harvey like, bro, all we got to do is close. And I'm talking to him while he's choking him. All I want to do is close this deal, man. Dude, can we calm down? And when he looked at me, and I got sincerity, because soft answer turns away wrath. I'm like, bro, can you let my man's neck go so we can, you know what I'm saying, do this deal? And it was just like, peace came over him. He let my man go. And then they start talking. Apparently, these niggas have known each other for years. Mark, I'm sorry, man. Bro, let's go ahead and let's do this deal. And I guess his wife's name was Michelle. Tell Michelle I said, hey, man, and the kids and everybody, you know, look, man, just give me 2 days. Had an issue with the title work, blah, blah, blah. So we close on the house. I get this house. And it's such a gravy deal that I get like, no, I didn't get money at closing. Oh, I got money when I refinanced on the house. But it was a great deal. I got in the house. Everything was cool. But when you do something crooked like that, when you got crooked paperwork, which I had, filed W-2s, I was out here hustling. When you acquire stuff like that, you can't keep it. And that should have been a sign. Like, them fighting should have been a sign not to get the house. I get in the house, and it's just one thing after another. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had my hands on some of everything. Some niggas breaking my house at gunpoint. I'm gone. My neighbor called me. And I had the house laid. I put so much money into the house. Niggas running in at gunpoint. My neighbor called me like, it's 4 or 5 people with hoodies on and masks with guns drawn. They breaking in your house. I'm gone. And ain't nothing I can do. She was like, and I banged on the window and one of them pointed the heater at me. So I had to get on the floor. When I tell you them niggas took everything out my house, they took all the clothes out the closet. I had some dope ass clothes too. They put them all on the bed and then wrapped the blanket up like a Santa Claus sack and ran out the house. I had some Hennessy in the refrigerator. They took that. How you gonna take the hen out the refrigerator, bro? I had gifts under the tree. It was Christmas time. Them niggas took all the gifts under the tree. One thing after another. I had a van. I had a conversion van on wheels and sounds in front of the house. You know, real hood nigga style and shit. Them niggas broke in my van. Took the sounds. Took the baby stroller out. What else happened? I remember I was up there taking a shower one day. And this how niggas in the hood to test you to see if you home or not. Because they'll knock on your door and then run somewhere and hide and see if somebody comes to the door or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking a shower and I hear somebody knock on the door and I'm like, shit, I'll deal with it when I get out. Then they knock again. So I jump out the shower and run, nobody there. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know what it is. I had a Cutlass. I had an 84 Cutlass back then. I had just put all this money into it, was on wheels, and I put a motor in that bitch, it ran. So I'm like, these niggas is trying to steal my Cutlass. Kept knocking on the door and shit and leaving. So I had, what did I have in? I had a 38 snub. You know what I'm saying? So I took the bullets out the snub nose and I went out and I put like 2 on the hood and I put 1 on the roof. And then I went and jumped in the shower. It wasn't no more knocking. Like, nigga, you see these bullets that's here on the hood and on the roof. The next ones you ain't gonna see because they gonna be going inside your motherfucking ass. So I was always having to turn up and do hood shit over there just to be in the neighborhood, man. And I'm like, going back to what I said earlier, when you buy something and it's crooked and you got to do a bunch of shit to get it and you foul, you're not going to keep it. And probably about 4 or 5 months after that whole Cutlass incident when they was trying to steal my car, I'm upstairs taking a shower and my wife at the time come in. All this shit happened when I was in the shower. It's crazy. She come in the bathroom like, you got to come out here. You got to come see this. I'm like, why? She said, some nigga just got threw out the car in front of our house, and he on the grass right now, and he wrapped up in garbage bags. You got to come see. I'm like, oh, shit, what? She's like, you got to hurry up because my auntie out here, she said he got a cell phone taped to his chest, and my auntie's trying to snatch the phone off his chest, and I can't stop her. I was like, oh, shit, so let me throw my clothes on. I throw my clothes on. I go out there. Sure enough, it's a nigga wrapped up in garbage bags with duct tape all around him. It was like one of them ransom things. Like a nigga probably got kidnapped. It was a dope nigga got kidnapped. And once they paid the ransom, they throw him out the car. But they throw this nigga out the car in front of my house. I got kids in the house. You know what I'm saying? Sure enough, he got a cell phone taped to his chest and he garbage bag and duct taped up. And they had a hole where he could breathe. Nigga was still alive and he whining. They had beat the dog shit out this nigga. And when I walk up to him, the phone on his chest starts ringing. And I'm like, oh shit, is it a bomb? I back up and this nigga starts screaming, don't answer it. Oh my God, don't answer. Oh, I'm looking. And of course you in Detroit, I'm on the west side then. I'm calling, man, the police ain't. If it ain't an emergency, they not showing up. So I called a couple times like, hey man, this dude wrapped up in a garbage bag in front of my house. And shit, an hour went by and that nigga was still, that phone was ringing. He was still going off. And my wife at the time, her auntie ended up snatching the phone off the nigga chest anyway. I don't know what she did with it. But they took so long to come get him. Finally, I just grabbed this nigga's legs and dragged him down the street. You know what I'm saying? It was like an empty field across the street. I drugged the nigga and he was so broken up, his bones, it was like dragging a snake. And he was screaming the whole time. Ah! Ah! I drug him down the street and dumped him in the field or whatever. Called the hook like, hey man, it's a nigga in the field across the street. You know, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know when they came and got him, but, you know, eventually I ended up losing the house because it was one of them armed mortgages. And it like the monthly payment like tripled. Interest rate went through the roof. I was beefed out with the wife at the time. We didn't really make it. Now she's an ex. Lost the house. It was so wild. But I'm saying all that to say, all that shit that I bought when I was hustling, that conversion van, that's gone. That Cutlass I put all that money into, that was gone. That's gone. The house is gone. I got memories. All them clothes was gone. You know what I'm saying? I got memories. I had a good time over there. But at the end of the day, we got to stop glorifying that, you know, living a hustler lifestyle, you actually, you know, that actually pays off. You got to stop at some point. You got to. Listen, all my hustlers, man, I've been there. I done had my hands in some of everything, man. You got to self-select and stop on your own at some point, or you end up dead or in jail. You know, gratefully, I had praying parents, man, and it was just only so far I could go. Like I said, I'm a square. I ain't no gangster. I just did what I needed the money. So I was willing to do whatever I had to do to get the money outside of prostituting myself and doing some whole shit. But if it's like, if I got to get the bag, then I'm making a road trip. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'm going to get it done. And then all this cheese that I accumulate, I'm going to go buy shit. I'm going to buy a conversion van, put wheels on it, get a Cutlass. Like, nigga, you need to see I'm getting money. Look at these clothes. Look at this shit I'm driving. Look at this jewelry, nigga. I'm getting money. All of that shit is gone. All that jewelry, all them clothes, all of that. I've been there and I've done that. But I just want to encourage all y'all that's hustling, man. Self-select. We in some times right now where, it's people getting taken out. They leaving here due to COVID and other stuff, man. It's not time to play games. It's time to get legal, get a legal hustle. I applied all of that hustle I had back then to businesses. I ran a successful used car lot for my dad. It went from, selling 2 cars a month to 40, 50 plus per month. And it turned into $1.5 million a year business. Just apply that same hustle to what you're passionate about. How you know what you're passionate about? If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your time? Whatever that answer is, that's an indication of what your gift is. Apply it to that. Use that same hustle that you had in the street and use it. I use the same hustle I had in the street to this. I put out a YouTube video every day, and before that, I was hustling as an actor and comedian. I still am. I still get auditions and roles and whatever. But the same hustle I had in the street, I apply it to this. Just transition the hustle. That's all I'm saying. But it's time to get out, bro. Men and women, you hustling, it's time to leave. I get inspired when I hear about, people who was hustling and doing their thing, and now they making a transition for good. Like, I got to make it. And it's like you self-select, and that means God ain't got to make you do it. Or the system don't have to make you transition. You do it on your own. So hopefully this inspired you, man. Shout out to all my people that's watching that's locked up. You know who you are. I love y'all, man. I'm doing this for y'all. When you get out, holler at me. You hollering at me now already, but I'm praying for you. I'm supporting you. I'm working on, I talked to my son this morning. He locked up too. He told me, and praise God, man, God healed him. He had COVID. God healed my son of COVID. I talked to him this morning. He said, Dad, while I was in quarantine, I wrote 12 more songs. I got a catalog. He said, I'm taking my GED in the next month. I'm going to do these college courses. He said, I'm coming out with a catalog, a GED, some college courses. I'm ready to hit the ground running. I want to do real estate. Make the time work for you. Shit, all of us on lockdown right now. We can't go nowhere. So if you locked up and you watching, and I know you are, make this time work for you. You know what I'm saying? Read. If you want to read Proverbs, read a book. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. Read a proverb a day. June 1st, read Proverbs 1 and vice versa. Spend some time with God. Really hear from him. Work on your gift. What is it that you want to do? Whatever you can do while you're in there, read some books, get all the knowledge. So when you get out, you hit the ground running, because the system does not prepare you to be a productive citizen when you get out. They want you to come back. We live in a prison, industrial complex society right now. They want you to come back. Fuck that. Change the game up on them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Start sowing into your gift while you there. So when you get out, you hit the ground running. If I can leave hustling, so can you. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes that just seemed like the only way based on what we saw, but just apply that same hustle to something else, man. I want to see less of my people locked up and more of us helping people to buck the system. I can't wait to what's coming, man. I'm going to sell my show in Jesus' name, and I'm taking that bread and I'm going to take it back to the hood, and we're going to do therapy. We're going to kick it with people and help them to establish goals and destiny and go after God and do it big, and we're going to change the game, because the way society works now is they don't want to educate us or give us therapy or none of that. They just want to criminalize us and put us in prison, and we're about to stop that. I'm ranting, but I just love y'all because I love myself. All right.